Welcome to the 9642 podcast. This is your host, Mr. NumberNine.
And this is The Fool.
This is where me and the Fool give our
Unqualified and unrequested
ramblings on the various issues in the world of sport.
or something like that.
Ba-ba-ba-da-da. Please don't sue us, NFL. That's just only a small refrain of your a traditional intro song.
Yeah.
But yes, it is. We are 1 week away from football being back, baby.
Woo!
It's a great time for all football fans. It's the happiest week. Everybody thinks they can win.
Yeah.
Except maybe the Giants fans. Everybody thinks they've got a shot, and and every team's excited about what the season can bring. The preseason is more or less over. The last game was played a day before yesterday, and the first game will be played on Friday for New Zealand time, 5th September, obviously Thursday for everybody else. Haha.
Yeah.
I have next week off, so I will happily get to watch all that. No problems.
Nice.
Though I have jury duty on the Monday after, so I will not be able to watch anything on the first Sunday or American Sunday of the year. Why did my civic duty have to clash? We have a wonderful plate of games. But it's a divisional clash for the first game. The Philadelphia Eagles play the Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia. They'll get to put up their second ever Super Bowl banner.
Yeah.
The current world champions. Then we go on to the rest of the season. We'll go over the rest of the season. We're gonna start with our review of basically every division. We will start with the AFC, just so that we can start with your favorite team, the Buffalo Bills.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Surely it's our year this year.
Reigning AFC East divisional champs. Basically, the team to beat in the AFC East. Let's not kid ourselves. These guys are making the playoffs 100%.
Yeah, one would think so.
But, okay, I'm going to put a huge asterisk here. Unless we have any reason to believe otherwise, like there is a player carrying an injury right now in the beginning of the season, and we do not know how they're going to how or when they're coming back. Yeah. I'm just going to assume every team's quarterback is going to make it till the end of the season.
Yeah.
And we have Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, the reigning MVP. The nearly men of the AFC division. They played against the Kansas City Chiefs multiple times and lost to the Cincinnati Bengals at one time when the Bengals were really, really good. This is their division to lose, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any team here that they would be at all scared of. Their schedule looks pretty good. They do start off with an absolute spicy game in the first week, but we'll get to that a bit later. But they have games like eventually, maybe because they'll be playing the Dolphins early on in the season while it's still a bit hot. That could be a bit. Oh no, they're playing the Dolphins at home, so that doesn't even matter. And they play the Dolphins away in October at Miami, so it's not going to be that hot. So, I mean, the Dolphins could be probably the only team that's going to challenge the Bills. The other two teams, I do think the New England will be better.
Yeah.
But we'll get to them. But I think we should probably look at the second, like Buffalo Bills. We're picking them to top this group.
Yeah.
Deep playoff run, right? We're going deep playoff run.
Apparently, definitely. Apparently, the only real headaches for them heading into the season is the fact that they're over the 53 players that they're meant to have in their squad, so they're spending a lot of time this week trimming down, working out who's been dropped, who's been cut, who's in the practice squad, who's in the main squad. So. But yeah.
Oh dear, you have too many good players. Oh no.
I know. That's
whatever
the biggest
shall
problem.
we do?
That's the biggest problem. It's like, I've got too many players. We have to cut some. So yeah. And they brought one of their, I can't remember. They brought someone back. I think one of the defensive linebackers back that hadn't been around.
Yeah, Jordan Phillips is back. Yeah, defensive tackle Jordan Phillips is back.
Yeah.
Z Alexander, like the Buffalo Bills always seem to have a really good defense. Sean McDermott, always, even though he's got some really questionable motivational speeches. Like this one time, he actually told the team that, look, you have to think about 9/11. And now I know what you're all thinking. We're like going, oh yeah, the firefighters, first responders. That's what he's gonna invoke. No, he's like, no, think about those terrorists and how they were brave. And I'm like, wait, what? We gotta show no fear like them. I'm like, you what?
Oh dear.
Yeah, as faux pas goes, that's pretty bad. But
that's pretty bad, yeah. Like a comedy show, but real life.
Yeah. It's something like, imagine Larry David doing it in like Curb Your Enthusiasm as this attempt to fail at like motivating someone, and he's taken it too far. I think most of their good players are coming in. The Buffalo Bills have drafted some exciting players, so I think I think they're gonna do really, really well. So like I said, I'm picking them deep playoff run. Like they are, let's be honest, they're one of the Super Bowl contenders. The second best team, and also coincidentally in alphabetical order, we get the Miami Dolphins. They this is another Tua Tagovailoa is back. I think it is a tough ask for them this season. We don't know how well the like obviously Tua is a great player, and he has shown that when he if he doesn't get sacked and if the O-line is protecting him, he gets rid of the ball really, really quickly. He's super accurate, and that offense is humming. It just scores points almost at will whenever they want. Their defense is shaky, but their coach has designed a really good offense around Tua. If he stays fit, they will go to the playoffs. How they do after that, it's hard to say. Like, I know I said that I'm gonna assume every player will not get injured, but Tua is carrying an injury cloud always, every season. Because unfortunately he's been getting concussions. Like definitely not always his fault, though he has taken ownership that sometimes he holds onto the ball too long, which is good. And he's trying, but there's no questioning the talent. He's been paid, so hopefully he'll get to ball out this season for, well, Dolphin fans and Twix.
Yeah.
So otherwise, we don't like to see Twix cry, do we?
No, of course not. Never.
Next up, we have the New York Jets. Okay. This team will somehow be the worst team in the NFL next season, and they will not get the first overall pick. Somehow, they'll end up winning a game when they don't need, there's no point in winning a game.
Yeah.
The Jets are ridiculous. In the offseason, they got Justin Fields as their quarterback. I mean, I rate Justin Fields. He's a good player, but they don't have a good O-line. They've got Tyrod Taylor, one of the unluckiest quarterbacks of all time. Though I do rate him, but he consistently seems to get injured just as he's about to break through into becoming a starter.
All right, yeah.
Great players like Breece Hall and all that, but what's the point of having a good running back if you don't have a good O-line? Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
And their defense, while it was good last season, I think it kind of, it's one of those things where their offense isn't scoring any points, so the other team's offense don't feel pressured to score all the time. They know they're scoring even 2 scores means they'll probably win.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to judge the Jets' defense. I mean, we shall obviously see how it goes, but I'm not very hopeful for them. Like I said, they're the team that they've not even made the playoffs since 2011. Literally every other team in the NFL since the last time they've entered the playoffs have gone to the playoffs at least once.
Yeah.
Heck, the Cleveland Browns have won a playoff game in that time, and they nearly beat the Kansas City Chiefs in their second playoff game. So, a ridiculous team. Like I said, they'll somehow be the worst, but not get the first overall pick.
But not get the benefits of it.
Not get the benefits of it at all. Next up, we have a very hopeful fan base, the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
A team with Drake May and their who's gonna be doing his first full season as a starter. Obviously, he played a few games last season. He looks very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think shows he's got the skills. Very cerebral quarterback. Seems to think very quickly and make decisions. He's tall, good vision. And they've got a great coach. Mark Vrabel took the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game, and he took them to the playoffs and divisional round multiple times. They somehow still fired him for reasons I will never understand. And he's come back home to New England, the team that he spent years as a player, and I think he's going to do really, really well because he is a really good offensive coach. There are times when he pisses me off because he makes weird decisions like punting from 30 yards instead of come on, at least go for the field goal. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense. If you're not gonna just go for it on 4th down, whatever it says, the New England Patriots. I think he's learned a lot from that, though. He's improved every year as a coach, I think, as well, because he's had worse and worse teams and gotten more and more out of them at Tennessee. So New England, they may not make the playoffs this year, but they should still be excited. I reckon they will finish middle of the pack, not make the playoffs. That's my prediction. And obviously the Jets aren't making the playoffs. The Miami Dolphins might, but once we review every team, we can make predictions on who we think will make the playoffs. But obviously we're gonna pick our guys who we think are definitely gonna make it.
Yeah.
Going from the AFC East, we go to the NFC East, the Division of Champions. Going in alphabetical orders, we start with America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
The team that has not managed to re-sign a bunch of their starters. I'm not even sure who's going to be playing in their defense. They said a couple of years ago, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, said that they were all in and proceeded to not sign any players or make any big moves in the draft, and he did that again this season. So, interesting strategy. I'm not sure what all in means in this scenario. And you're from Texas, surely you know what all-in is supposed to mean. Like, Hold'em is invented in your state.
Exactly.
But the Dallas Cowboys, they still have Dak Prescott. They still have a CD Lamb. They still have a decent O-line. I think if, once again, a lot of this goes out, Dak is always good if he's not carrying an injury into the season, which he doesn't seem to be. They've been unlucky a couple of times when he did get injured in the middle of the season. But I think overall, the Cowboys, they're not in a tough division other than the Philadelphia Eagles, who will absolutely spank them on Thursday Night Football next week. I think they're generally okay. There's enough there to make it to the playoffs, and the NFC is the weaker conference.
Yeah.
If this team was in the AFC, absolutely no chance of making the playoffs. Like teams like the Bengals, the Ravens, the Dolphins, and would absolutely eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
All these teams that are the Chargers, like these teams that are not good enough to win their division, they're not the best team in their division, would still absolutely smash Pittsburgh Steelers as well. There's too many good teams in the AFC, so Dallas are probably potentially good. I think are a team that can make the playoffs.
All right, yeah.
And it's tough. Actually, no, I take that back because their division is actually quite tough. Because I forgot about the next team we're going to talk about, the team from the nation's capital. The Washington Commanders, who have just freshly signed Scary Terry McLaurin, so their sophomore quarterback, Jaden Daniels will absolutely be happy about that. He took the team so close to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Got them to the divisional game, to the AFC Championship game. Obviously, they got smashed against the Philadelphia Eagles, but Philadelphia Eagles smashed everybody.
Yeah.
So that doesn't say much. It is second season syndrome, so we'll see how it goes. But I think overall, the bones of a really good team are there. They've got a good coach. There is no reason to doubt them, I don't think. I think the Washington Commanders are going to make the playoffs. The NFC are weak, like I said, so it'll be a bit tougher for Dallas. So Dallas for me is maybe 40-60. I think Washington will definitely make it. I like the Washington Commanders' chances. Now we'll go to another team that definitely won't make it, the New York Giants. A team with 3 quarterbacks, including one that they drafted, Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett might do pretty well, but he's been drafted later on, and he's clearly going to sit behind a veteran. Now, they've picked the 2 most extra veterans in the NFL they could pick. You've got Russell Wilson, who's probably a future Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winner, one of the best quarterbacks of the late 2010s. Now, he's a great player to learn from, but they've also got Jameis Winston, a guy who once had a season where he threw for 35 touchdowns and also conceded 36 interceptions. So, yeah.
That's impressive work, really.
Very much so. Also, they've still got Tommy DeVito in their team, which is fine. He's a player you need to. He's just another young player they're developing, probably to become a long-term backup.
Yeah.
But Kenny Pickett. not Kenny Pickett. What am I saying? Jackson Dart is their rookie quarterback that they drafted. He's going to be he's going to learn for a bit behind, hopefully, Russell Wilson, for his sake. At least Russ's work ethic, not necessarily what his tweeting style. And the team is going to do really well. They got Abdul Carter as well in the draft to fix up a bit of their defense. I don't expect much from the New York Giants. They're going to be a top 5 in the draft next year in terms of where they're going to pick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So this team is going to be beaten up by everybody else in this division probably, though don't be surprised if they sneak in a win against probably the Dallas Cowboys. And obviously that win's going to mean the Cowboys don't make the playoffs or something. It'll be something really like that. Next up, we have our world champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
They have, and they've gone. As I said, they're defending their crown. Jalen Carter is going to lead his men. There's literally no reason not to potentially pick them to be in the Super Bowl next year, unless they have terrible luck with injuries.
Yeah.
They've managed to even the season before last season, where they were suffering a Super Bowl hangover. They did lose all their coordinators to other teams.
Yeah.
So it took a bit of time to build up that the internal team coaching structure, but they've still got Saquon, they've got AJ Dillon, they've got AJ Brown, they've got Jalen Hurts. It's a monster team. They've got one of the best O-lines in the league, and they managed to get even stronger in the draft. They got Jihad Campbell as a linebacker and Andrew Mabuka as a safety. They've shored up their defense even more. They're going to be a tough team to beat. Don't necessarily expect them to maybe come out of the ground knocking shit down, taking names, but come the business end of the season, they'll be up there. Expecting a deep playoff run from this team, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Cool. So, all right, maybe we should just pick AFC East. We're picking Bills to win.
Yeah.
And we're picking the Eagles to win the NFC East. We can go through, figure out what we think for wild cards later. But we should division winner, I think. Okay, cool. So going from the East, we head up north to the AFC North. And we are coming to potentially what is the toughest division in football.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, both of the toughest divisions in football are in the North. We'll start off with the Baltimore Ravens, the team that once again just missed out on making the AFC championship game.
Yeah.
They went to the division round. They were at one point probably one of the best teams in the league last season. Basically, it was a 50-50 toss-up between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, between who got the MVP. I don't think there was a wrong answer.
No.
Last season, they were both really, really good, and man, they had a monster draft. They had Maliki Starks at safety to just shore up with Kyle Hamilton. That secondary is gonna be a beast, and they took Mike Green on the edge, so that their defense is going to be incredibly good this season. They basically built in the trenches, got a few offensive tackles and linebackers. So I think Lamar Jackson, and he still plays for this team, so that's always a good sign when you have like an MVP caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
And they also signed in the offseason DeAndre Hopkins. Be interesting to see another veteran wide receiver for Lamar to pick to. They've got Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers, who's one of the quickest player. It's interesting. They've got Lamar Jackson, who's probably the quickest player in the league, even though he's a quarterback, and we've got Zay Flowers, who is potentially the quickest wide receiver in the league, and they had and they also had Keaton Mitchell, who is potentially the quickest running back in the league. So there's a lot of speed in this team.
Yeah.
And they also have an honest-to-goodness fullback, Patrick Ricard, who actually gets snaps. So this team actually uses a fullback. This is the Harbaugh way, I guess. Both John and Jim will use them. I think this is a really, really tough division. The Cincinnati Bengals are in here, but I'm pretty confident the Baltimore Ravens will win the AFC North, and another deep playoff run for this team.
Yeah. No.
You got to try and get to a Super Bowl while you've got Lamar Jackson at his peak.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're doing that thing. They are going all in to make the most out of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Now, the team that's going to try and stop them are the Cincinnati Bengals. Incredibly, they had a bunch of really, really interesting off-season things to sort out, but they have paid Trey Hendrickson, which is good because he was literally the only good defensive player in this team. The Cincinnati Bengals team, their philosophy, the year they made the Super Bowl, they had a sneaky good defense. The defense actually kind of carried them into that Super Bowl, as well as Joe Burrow played, and we had great performances from people like Jamar Chase and the rest of the wide receivers. That defense sneakily managed to stop throughout the playoffs, managed to stop good offenses from scoring in important times, and that's what took them to that Super Bowl. And they were like one play away. Now this defense last season was ridiculous. Basically, their philosophy was, we don't care if you score 3, we're gonna score 5 or 6. What you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
This was a team that only won 9 games despite averaging 30 points a game.
Wow.
So now, and that's after they had a really bad start to the season. Like Joe Burrow did not play well initially, and they took their time to get into it. We all know, their opening game is against the Browns. We will review that, but yeah, Joe Burrow has a bad record against the Browns. I don't think he won a game against Cleveland in his career. It's becoming a thing, but other than that, he's got a goodish record against the Ravens and Pittsburgh. So this is why the AFC North is a tough division to pick, because we know Pittsburgh are also probably going to be a winning record this season, because Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record as a coach in any season. So that's that. And then we've got Cleveland, who have a really good defense. So even if they do not necessarily win many games, they're going to be a tough outfit. They're going to get a lot of your players injured. But I like Cincinnati. I think Zach Taylor's going to get them heat up for that first game.
Yeah.
I think they will make the playoffs, and they will make a deep run.
Yeah. Seems likely.
That being said, following on from them, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I also think they will make the playoffs, but I am not expecting them to make a deep run. Like they are
Right.
they're gonna get a winning record. Blah blah blah. They'll make the playoffs, but I don't. It's very difficult for me to really take them seriously. The Steelers have usually been good because they're a solid roster. They know how to handle drama, but they have the most drama-prone player in the world. Aaron Rodgers is
Yeah.
playing for them, and look, he's 41, guys. I'm not even saying he's going to be injured, but look, if he's 70% as good as he is, they'll be awesome. But I think it's really hard at 41 to be 71, 70% as good as they are.
His
Like,
peak,
Tom
yeah.
Brady is Tom Brady. He's a one of one.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know that Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. Pittsburgh do not even have a that good an O-line as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did when Tom joined, and as good of an O-line as New England had all throughout the season, his career there. So Aaron, it's a tough ask for me to see you do that well, and it might not be your fault. Like I don't think he's necessarily going to play badly, but I think Pittsburgh has a lot of issues. I think they'll probably just scrape through with like a 10-win season, and they'll make it to the playoffs. Just I think 3 teams potentially from this AFC North division will make it through. So yeah, the rest of the AFC, you've got a tough ask.
Yeah.
Well, and the next team in this league, they're also not easy beats. The Cleveland Browns have one of the best basically have one of the best defenses in the league. They did draft Shadur Sanders in the 5th round, a player people thought was going to go in the 1st round as a QB, even though they also drafted Dylan Gabriel as a QB like a couple of rounds before. Like, it's weird. It's so weird. They got a defensive tackle in Mason Graham, fantastic as a for a pick, and Carson Schwarzenegger as a linebacker. A ridiculous draft in defense. They are so stacked. But at quarterback, they have Deshaun Watson, who is like had a very if I said he's had a very disappointing career at Cleveland, that would be an understatement. Clearly, Cleveland have drafted 2 rookies to see if one of them can take over the mantle.
Yeah.
Shadur, Dylan. Obviously, Shadur is the son of a legendary NFL player. Comes with a lot of baggage, which I think that's Cleveland's style, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
that's what you expect them to do, draft a player like that. And then they also have Joe Flacco, a man who's won the Super Bowl with their rival Baltimore Ravens. So
Nice, yeah.
I do not I think other than Cincinnati, who seem to lose to Cleveland all the time, the other Pittsburgh and Baltimore do have a good record against Cleveland. They tend to just know how to get away with a win, sometimes just come away without getting too many injuries.
Yeah.
Browns obviously are playing Bengals first up. We'll obviously look at that later when we look at the first week of games.
Yeah.
We talk about that, but yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. I think the Browns are not going to make the playoffs, though there was once a season when almost every team from the AFC North made it to the playoffs. Like, all of them had a winning record. So this is how tough this division is when they have a good quarterback, when Cleveland has a good quarterback available to them. And so I think we have to and they will. Every other team in the AFC are just gonna have to be on notice. The AFC North is once again a really, really tough division to come up against. And next up, we will go to the NFC North, starting with the favorite team of my brother-in-law for us, the Chicago Bears. The Bears. Team that had a very interesting draft. Also, they did they spent a lot of their offseason signing a good O-line, and then they signed a tight end who wasn't the best tight end in the draft, and let the Indianapolis Colts get him instead. It's a bit weird. The team is they've got Caleb. He looked for what he looked with in front of a really bad O-line. Looked pretty good. He obviously first overall draft last season. He's got a good forward, good weapons to throw to DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And the aforementioned Colston Loveland, but also Cole Kmet, who is at tight end. And they've basically refreshed this O-line. Hopefully, it'll obviously O-lines take a while to build, but they will be better than last year because can't imagine any O-line worse than last year. So I expect a better performance from the Chicago Bears. Last year, they got 6 wins. I can easily see them potentially getting 9 wins, maybe, this season. Oh, sorry, they got 5. They got 5 wins last year, not so I could potentially see them getting 9 wins, maybe. The 4 is not unreasonable. I do think that'll be a just misses out the playoffs, but it'll be an improvement, and it's Ben Johnson, their coach, is a really, really good offensive coach. So I think there's a lot to build around the defense for Chicago as well.
All right.
So it's a bit of time, but I do think I do think they're going to be excited about having Caleb. This division is stacked, guys. I'm not. Let's just get into it. The next up from Chicago, we have the Detroit Lions.
Ooh.
A team that's one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, we're all expecting them to potentially make it all the way to the NFC Championship game this season. Unlucky not to last year. They drafted another defensive tackle in the draft, so he's shoring up that side of the ball. They've Jared Goff is one of the best QBs in the league, and they love him in their team. And it's all settled on the offensive side. They were unlucky last season to get their defense decimated. Hopefully that won't happen to them again this season, and they still made the playoffs last season and finished top of their 15 wins, nothing to sneer at.
No.
So I think we could expect a deep playoff run again.
Yeah.
And this team has improved every year under Dan Campbell, their coach. So it's not unreasonable to expect. And to be fair, though, he's lost his offensive coordinator to the Chicago Bears, so we'll see.
Right. Yeah.
There could be some cutback, but I think in a way, even though they may get less wins than last season, it'll be more impressive performance from Dan Campbell because he'll have rookie coordinators who he's gonna have to kind of bedded in and get the best out of not just the players but his new coaching staff. So
yeah,
watch the space. I think Detroit, also their rivals have basically they both have weird clouds on them. Like the Vikings, let's look at the Vikings. Last season they got JJ McCarthy, who basically who got injured before the season started. and he got drafted and he didn't play. And they basically started Sam Darnold. Everybody thought, oh yeah, this is just going to be a tank year. They'll get a high draft pick. Oh my God, they got 14 wins. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, potential MVP. We were talking about you guys, as you remember, the last working day of the year, you, me, other people around the table, we were sitting there going, man, how can you let Sam go? He's too good. He's just incredible. They did let him go because the next 3 games he played, he was absolutely dog shit. But, that's how good their coaching staff was.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. It's a rookie QB. We've never seen him play, but this coaching staff is on point. They do have a Super Bowl winner in Carson Wentz in there as a backup. So you never know. Maybe another redemption story for this coaching staff. There are so many good players. Like they have whoever is the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. He's throwing to the best wide receiver in the game, like maybe one of the best wide receivers to have ever played. Justin Jefferson is absolutely unstoppable. And so I do think the Vikings are going to do really well. I don't think I can expect 14 wins again them with a rookie quarterback, but I think 10, 11 wins are not unreasonable. I do think they'll go back to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. Look, he's got good stats and he's played a lot of games. JJ McCarthy at college level, but
right.
What's his clutch gene? How is he going to adapt to the NFL? What's he going to do in high pressure games where they have to win? We don't know the answer to these questions, so we'll see what happens there. But I do feel very quietly confident, though I don't think they will finish second. I think Detroit Lions are going to finish first. Let's just get that out of the way. And I think the Minnesota Vikings make the playoffs, but they'll be third. And I think second in this division are going to be the Green Bay mother-loving Packers. Shout out Tom Grossi. They got a wide receiver in the draft. That never happens. They drafted an offensive player.
Wow.
What? They re-signed a lot of their stars. Their roster looks really, really good. Jordan Love, I know lots of people kind of not sure about him, but I like him. I think the only thing I think about Jordan Love is sometimes he gets bored.
All right.
They're not challenging him enough, and I think that's a dangerous, but I think that's something you get over with maturity, so the coaching staff should hope sort that out with him. But this team is stacked. It's so good. There is no reason they shouldn't make the playoffs. Matthew Golden in there as well, along with Romeo Doubs and Cole Hardman. So, and they've got ridiculous stack of weapons. They've got a fantastic O-line, and they still have Josh Jacobs as a running back, and they have a great defense, one of the best defenses in the league last season, who are mostly kept together as well. And they still have a bit of money in the bank should they need to make a signing in the middle of the season to cover a gap or an injury. There's so much to like about the Green Bay Packers. The only reason I don't think they're going to win this division is there's a Detroit Lions in this division who are going to win. That's literally it. So I think Green Bay potentially could be the third best team in this conference. I'm picking the other North Division to get 3 teams into the playoffs.
Yeah. But yeah, you are right. Like the 2 North divisions are like ridiculously stacked, where
Yeah.
you could envision like a lot of them going through, which is crazy.
Yeah. Next up, we go to the AFC South, one of the easiest divisions in the league. Let's be honest here. Last season, Caleb Williams basically, sorry, not Caleb Williams. What am I saying? The CJ Stroud basically took took a chill pill and settled down once his team basically made the mathematically qualified for the playoffs. No team was ever gonna catch them. They got to 10 wins, and that's all they need. And everybody was like, "Oh, this team's gonna suck in the playoffs." No, they won their playoff game
Yeah.
easily, in fact. So. CJ Stroud is not a player you want to underestimate. That was his sophomore season, so I do expect him to come back stronger. They've drafted a wide receiver, Jaden Higgins, in the draft in the second round, and they got an offensive tackle, Asari. So they do need help in the O-line, especially since they've lost Laramie Tunsil. That is the huge question mark for me in this team. But look at the rest of this division. They're not gonna challenge these guys. Houston, they're gonna top the division. Another 10 wins, and that'll be probably more the 2 or 3 more than they need to qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts, a team that signed another quarterback despite having a rookie they supposedly like, Anthony Richardson, who is a good player and has gotten them some incredible wins, but he is injury prone as heck.
Yeah.
And they've signed Daniel Jones from the New York Giants. It's 20, so they have a veteran to compete or maybe like mentor the young Richardson. It's going to be an interesting team. They do have still Jonathan Taylor and players like Alex Pierce and Michael Pittman, but I don't know. Something feels just off about the Colts. I don't like a team that has like a weird QB situation where we don't know who the starter is going to be, and there's all this nonsense talk before the season starts. Like, that's not a championship team.
No.
Foreshadowing. So I think Indianapolis might be tanking or Arch?
Question mark?
Maybe? Question mark? Is Arch Manning going to be in the draft next year? Who knows? I mean, we know that Indianapolis likes drafting people from the Manning family, so
Yeah.
we'll find out. Nephew of Peyton and Eli, of course.
Yeah.
And his dad had a great career as a high school wide receiver before discovering he had a bone condition where the doctors basically said don't play a contact sport as rough as football.
Right.
Fair enough. And obviously his dad was a 10-year veteran player, Archie Manning, with the new his grandfather rather, Arch Manning's grandfather, is a long-time veteran with the New Orleans Saints. So yeah.
Right.
He's got the heritage, so
They
definitely want to see. Everybody's going to be trying to get him, and he has had a great career in high school. So we'll be looking forward to his college career next year. See how that plays out. But the Colts, I think, like I said, I think they're tanking. So I think they might finish bottom this season. But it's a race to the bottom because they're in the same division as the Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars, who in their draft got Travis Hunter, an exceptional player who who can play both as a cornerback and as a wide receiver, so can play both offense and defense. Played for a great Colorado team. Be interesting. I'll be sure they'll eventually just pick and decide where he's gonna play. Like I don't think he's gonna play sides of the ball. There's a reason nobody does that in the NFL. But it'll be interesting to see how that works out for them. I think Trevor Lawrence, he's been in the team for a while, but it is the Jaguars. I feel like once again, this is a team that might be tanking, and if they are, they'll basically draft Arch or whoever's a good quarterback next season, and maybe we'll move on. Not expecting much from the Jaguars. Jaguars, Indianapolis, both are going to attempt to tank. Do not expect them to win. I do not expect them to get more than 5 wins, either of those teams.
All right, yeah.
Moving on from them, we go to the team that had the first overall pick last season, so last season's worst team, the Tennessee Titans. But they got Cam Ward, one of the who was basically everybody's consensus, I think, #1 player in the draft, and he's a quarterback. Any team that's got like a rookie quarterback, they drafted #1. I think the fans are excited. Tennessee's has some good weapons for him as well. Tyler Lockett, and Tony Pollard at running back. But ultimately, that O-line is mediocre at best and probably not that good. They are in a very, very weak division, so I think Cam Ward is gonna get into a gentle baptism into the NFL. He is gonna make his debut against the Broncos at the Mile High Stadium, so that's gonna be a tough one for him. But overall, I think Tennessee will definitely be better than last year. I think they'll be around 7, 8 wins. I'm not thinking I don't think they're gonna make a winning record. AFC are just too tough. Like teams like the Browns are gonna eat them for breakfast.
Yeah. There's a hard conference to be good. To ease yourself into, right? As you said.
Yeah.
Too many good teams.
Playing too many good teams, and they're playing teams like Kansas City.
Yeah.
As well. So, Kansas City gonna play the Raiders. They're playing New England. I mean, their only saving grace is they've got a 4th place schedule, so there'll be some teams they'll probably catch on a bad week that they'll do. So my thing, they're not. They like I said, 7 or 8 wins, but like very good performance from something to hope for this team next season. Next up, we have we're going to the NFC South, go straight up to the Atlanta Falcons, a team that paid $200 million to Kirk Cousins and then drafted a quarterback in the first round, and that quarterback's now the starter. So, yeah, interesting times.
That is interesting times.
They drafted a linebacker in Jalen Walker in the draft, and they got James Pierce Jr. in the first round as well as an edge rusher. So that defense has been built up. The offense is great, but once again, who's their quarterback going to be? It's Michael Penix Jr. He's going to be their quarterback, but the Kirk Cousins is taking up a huge bit on their roster. I do expect that there will be a trade for him. Some team's gonna want to be doing well. Some team's gonna be doing well, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, we need to sign. This team's really, really good. We've got our window, and we need to sign a quarterback who's a veteran to take us over." Rams. I think gonna be a very interesting team to watch. I do think Michael Penix Jr. has the skills. He played 5 games last year, got 775 yards, but very he's very, very accurate, has a great long throw. The Falcons are the Falcons, though. They are in one of the weakest divisions in the league, but, you know, they have to deal with Tampa Bay. I don't think they're better than Tampa Bay.
No.
And I'm picking 2 teams from the NFC North to make it. 2 wild cards from the NFC North to make it, and I think it'll be one of the it'll probably be the Commanders will be the 3rd wild card. I'm just gonna call it now in the NFC. Just looking at all of them, that's my call. So Atlanta, I don't think you're making the playoffs. I do think you might get the same record as last year, 8 wins, and that'll be a good season, I think, for Michael Penix. 8 wins for his starts this year. And there'll be, I think, a few games where Kirk Cousins end up starting as well for them.
All right, yeah.
Interesting team here. We got the Carolina Panthers, a team that got 5 wins last season. Bryce Young ended up with a decent season, all things considered, given everybody thought he was going to be a bust after his first season.
Yeah.
And then he got dropped for Andy Dalton midway through last season, and then when he came back after getting dropped, he basically started balling out. This kid has the clutch gene. He basically makes great throws under pressure, and like when the team needs him to perform. The team around him are not quite there yet, though. I think it's not unfair to say he got 2,400 yards last season from 14 games. So we'll see how he does. I am not a believer in the Panthers. I do think they're gonna finish. The only reason they're not gonna finish bottom in this division is the New Orleans Saints exist in this division. The New Orleans Saints is like that one friend you have who earns the same amount of money as you, but somehow keeps buying more and more expensive things that you just think you can't afford, even though he has more kids and like pays alimony to multiple wives, and you're like, I've only had the one wife and like I have the one kid. How are you like affording more than me? And it turns out he has like 20 credit cards which he uses to pay the other pay each other off, etc. And it's all come to a head now. They've been paying it off on the credit card for ages for reasons which are completely baffling, because they didn't have a team good enough to win. Nor did they have... It made sense when they had Drew Brees. 100% made sense when they had Drew Brees, one of the best players ever.
Yeah.
But they don't... but once he retired, this team should have been rebuilding.
Yeah.
I am not a proponent of tanking. I'll never say a team should tank.
Yeah.
Because that's, to me, is disrespectful to the fan base. But, properly rebuild your side. Get rid of the big contracts. Bring in new, young, fresh blood,
Yeah.
Stuff like you need to do. And, that could be done in a season or 2. And they have just put it off, and now it's going to take a long time, it looks like, to get this done. This is the team that's not gonna have meat for dinner or lunch for like a few months.
Yeah.
You can tell. They've got to choose between Jake Harner, Spencer Rattler, and Tyler Shaw. Yeah, that's rough, man. Very rough. The only reason, how I was saying that that the Cleveland Browns or the New York Jets are probably not gonna be the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
That's because I think this team's gonna be the worst in the league, and they're probably gonna get Arch Manning, so he can join his grandfather's team.
Right. Yeah.
He gets, and he gets to stay in the South, like I'm sure he would like. Next up, we go to the team that I think everybody thinks is going to win this division. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yay, a team that has a settled lineup and a quarterback that everybody thinks is, a great fit for them and is really their quarterback. They also drafted another wide receiver in the first round, and they shored up their secondary in the second and third, and other defensive spots. I really like this team's build. The coach seems to always get the best out of them. Mike Evans still plays for the team, and they've still got Chris Godwin, so there's plenty of weapons, plenty of opportunities to score.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is a veteran now. He knows how to get the best out of his colleagues. My thoughts are, obviously Tampa Bay is going to win, and Tampa Bay is going to win playoffs games. I don't know how deep a playoff run they will go into, but I suspect they will win a playoff game at least.
Yeah.
So we could put that in the bank. As for the other wild cards that I was predicting, I think the Washington Commanders will make the playoffs. I don't know if they'll get a playoff win. I think, like I said, Detroit, we're expecting to try be there at the business end of the season. Minnesota and Green Bay, I think Green Bay might win a playoff game. Minnesota, I'm not so sure. That's we'll go with that for the NFC. As for the AFC, let's review everyone, because we've got another freaking tough division to look at. Potentially, this might be the toughest division in football. The AFC West, home of the team that everybody thinks is one of the favorites to win every season, the Kansas City Chiefs. Shall we just put them there? They're going to be at the Super Bowl. We don't know whether they're going to win or not. That's just write it down.
Well,
in pen.
I prefer not to, because I prefer the Buffalo Bills to be there, and
everybody would prefer some other team to be there. But I'm just saying, what does your brain say?
No, I think it's our year. We got so close last year. We're getting closer and closer and closer. This is the year we beat them in the AFC game. This is the year.
This is the game?
Yeah.
Has to be. They still have Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah, I know that. I'm quite aware.
Yeah.
Still got Travis Kelce. Still got everyone, so...
Yeah. They also managed to... They shored up their offensive line, getting Josh Simmons from Ohio State. Their roster is the Kansas City Chiefs. They're stacked, boys. Yeah. They are fucking stacked.
Yeah.
They have Patrick Mahomes. They have Kareem Hunt in running back and Isaiah Pacheco. They've got Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice. This team on offense is incredible. And Xavier Worthy, and this is not even the best part of their team. They have the best player in football, a quarterback, and that is not the strong part of their team. Their strong part is their defense. It's so good. And they're one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, and Sags is just not going anywhere. He's just he doesn't like coaching. He wants to be a defensive coordinator, so he just stays here.
Nice.
And they've got Andy Reid, one of the best offensive coaches in the league. And, their backup QB is the mustache himself, Gardner Minshew. How can things go wrong?
Yeah.
Obviously, we think the Chiefs are winning AFC West.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me. Last season, we had 3 teams from this division come through. And both of these teams look potentially, once again, very likely. We'll start with the team supported by my daughter and other people in my family, the LA Chargers. Yes, we are a house of masochists, obviously. The Chargers are managed to make it back to the playoffs last year after Jim Harbaugh took them all the way back. 11 wins. I think fantastic season last season. They're in such a tough division, and they have a second place schedule. Their schedule looks really, really tough. So, in my opinion, the Chargers, I don't think they're going to improve on their schedule. I do think they'll have 11 wins again. I think that'll just sneak them back in.
Yeah.
To the playoffs. Next up, we have the but I'm feeling really uncomfortable about that. Let me just put it out there. It'll either be the Chargers or the Denver Broncos that get that last wild card spot. Like
Yeah,
Denver Broncos, they've got a sophomore quarterback again with Sean Payton is one of the best coaches the NFL's ever had. He's won the Super Bowl before with the Saints.
Yeah.
They've got their QB of the future, Bo Nix, last season, who absolutely smashed it. They've got a really, really good offense. Bo Nix, I think, has even got room to improve, which is one of those things. It's when it comes down to it, the reason why I think I'm picking the Chargers over the Broncos is, like, again, I don't think the Bengals are going to be as bad at the beginning as they have been this season. And the Bengals do have a third place schedule, so they're playing weaker teams than they would usually play if they came second or first in the division. The AFC West, from the looks of it, are also playing the NFC East, which, as we said, even though it's not as strong as the NFC North, is still a pretty freaking strong division where they're gonna play teams like Dallas, the Eagles, and the Washington Commanders. And we don't know how good or bad the New York Giants are gonna be. They're not. I don't expect them to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna be easy beats either.
No.
Versus, I think, the AFC North, if we look at their schedule, they're playing their conference partners are the NFC North. Okay, so they're both playing really tough divisions.
Yeah.
That's not good. But yeah, then it's a bit tougher, but I think that we're basically going down to quarterbacks then, and I'm gonna pick Joe Burrow over Bo Nix. I'm sorry. He's Joe Burrow, and I think I'm gonna pick Justin Herbert over Bo Nix. But Bo Nix is gonna be great. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 10 wins again this season. He might get 9 wins. Wouldn't be if he gets 10 wins. He's definitely pushing for a playoff spot. His division, though, I think, much like the AFC North, their fourth place team, the Raiders, are not bad, and unlike the Cleveland Browns, the Raiders actually have a really good coach. And look, to be fair, the Browns also have a really good coach. They just have a terrible quarterback, and when I say terrible, I mean terrible, not just a quarterback but also human being. But like Las Vegas Raiders, they've got Pete Carroll, like NFL legend, who, you know, a coach who's won the Super Bowl and taken his team back to the Super Bowl again. One of the best coaches the league's ever had. One of the most influential coaches the league's ever had. And he's going to be taking charge of this defense, putting them in shape. And on the offense, he got Geno Smith, his boy Geno, whose career he brought back. And I think at this point we all agree Geno's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think also, so my other reason, I think I'm going to justify why I haven't picked the Broncos over the Browns, because I don't think I need to justify the Chargers one. Like, it's Herbert versus Knicks, and they've also got a good coach in John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Even though obviously Sean Payton's also a great coach. I think Denver are the Las Vegas Raiders are basically the difference for why the NFC North will get more teams than the AFC West, because ultimately the Raiders are a stronger team than the Browns are. in my opinion.
Yeah.
Next up, we have another team that this might be one of the top. In other times, this would have been one of the strongest teams in the league, one of the strongest divisions in the league. But there's a bunch of question marks in every team. We have at first the Arizona Cardinals, the team that came last in. They came third last season, getting 8 wins, so just missing out on a winning record. Kyler Murray at this point is almost a veteran. They drafted a defensive tackle.
Nice.
And to basically shore up the trenches, and they got a bunch of other defensive players in the draft. Their roster is. This is where it goes out to be like, it's fine. It's fine. I think we've got Marvin Harrison Jr., who's had so far a disappointing career in the NFL, though he was fantastic in college. Kyler Murray, you could say the same thing about. He's made his $160 million, so he's happy playing Madden and Call of Duty. Which I'm like, to be fair, bro, I can't say I would have done any different.
No, exactly.
Other part is they're in a really, really strong division, and they somehow did. They're on a third place schedule despite being not that good a team. So they're on a tougher schedule than a team that I think is substantially better than them in the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this team had injuries galore last season. But they've drafted a lot of good players, but there's a huge question mark here about to me still about their quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, or Mr. Relevant as people should call him now, Brock Purdy. He's done okay. There's not a huge question mark around him. There's a question mark around his weapons. How long will they last? Can we get a full season out of Christian McCaffrey? Can we get a full season? Will George Kittle play out a full season? Will we get a good season out of Joshua Jennings? And their defense was absolutely smashed last season as well. There's always injuries in the 49ers. I feel like this is probably a style thing with the way Kyle Shanahan runs his teams. They're all very, very aggressive and in your face and want to they're like the team that'll not only play good on the grass, they'll play you in the alleyway and still beat you. Like that's they're rough and tough, and I feel like they catch a lot of injuries. But I think they've got a 4th place schedule. I do think they'll be healthier, and I think because of issues in the other teams above them, they might win this division. So they're my pick to win the division. Because despite being pretty, as many injuries as they had, they still got 6 wins. That's not bad. Because the other two teams all have weird issues. Seattle, will go to them first. They have traded their QB for the last 2 seasons, who plays incredible in Geno, and drafted in Sam Darnold, who played, let's be honest, incredible for the Minnesota Vikings last year, but can he repeat what he's done at the Seahawks? We know for a fact that the coaching staff at the Minnesota Vikings are great at elevating players. They've got the best out of Kirk Cousins. They've got the best out of Sam Darnold. They got the best out of a bunch of quarterbacks to replace Kirk Cousins when he got injured, when they were still in the middle of a run a couple of seasons ago. The Seattle are are a team that had a settled quarterback and a settled coach. This is going to be a second year for their coach from last year, but he is a defensive coach, so we'll see how their offense goes. Their Dolphins are aging. I'm just not a fan. I think the Seahawks are gonna regress this year. I don't expect them to fall down a cliff. I think probably 7, 8 wins once again. This team, I think Arizona's also probably gonna get 7, 8 wins again this season. I think San Fran will push all the way up to like 11, 12 wins.
All right.
The reason why I don't think I think San Fran are going to have such an easy thing to the top is the team that should be fighting them is the LA Rams, and I have no freaking clue who their quarterback's going to be. Matthew Stafford is obviously an NFL legend. He's got 60,000 receiving yards at this point, but he is injured. Everybody claims he's not injured, but he's clearly injured.
All right.
And they've got Jimmy Garoppolo, who is everybody claims is not injured, but who is clearly kind of always injured.
Yeah.
They've got if they can sort that bit out, obviously they're a great team. Like Sean, their coach is one of the best in the league. He's a Super Bowl winner, obviously, with this team, and he seems to always get the best out of them. But the main reason why I think the Rams are in trouble is Dan Orlovsky has said that he's not concerned about them, so that means there's lots to be concerned about them, in my opinion. So the Rams, I don't think they're making a massive reduction. I think they'll go down to an 8-9 sort of team.
All right.
But I think San Fran, like I said, could be an 11-12 team, and I do think 8-9 is not going to be enough in the NFC this year. I do think the wild cards are going to be teams like Green Bay and Minnesota. Excuse me, might get more than 11 wins each, depending on how the season goes, and I think Commanders could be in a similar spot. This is the weaker division, which means the teams that are strong get loads of wins.
Yeah.
And they're not in an easy division. There's no they do play an easy division in their out of conference because they're playing against the AFC South. So that's one thing they have going for them. But like I said, I'm still not convinced. Unlike the AFC West and the AFC North, who are playing literally the toughest divisions on the other side.
Yeah.
I guess that gives the Buffalo Bills a good chance to get the first.
Yeah, I was about to say that's
because
making the Bills look a big
NFC
top.
South.
Yeah, playing the NFC South, so we should get good wins out of that as well, which should hopefully give us a good chance of being top of the conference.
I mean, the other issue that means the Bills are going down to play warm weather teams, which is their weakness generally.
Yeah.
Depending on what time of season. Let's just quickly look at your Bills schedule. What does it look like roughly? They're going to Baltimore right up. Okay, yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
The Jets, Miami, so you've got your divisional games right up, then you're going to host New Orleans, and then you're going to be at Atlanta in October. It's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, actually. But they are also playing, you're also playing the AFC North in your conference, so
yeah,
that's tough about the AFC. That's what one thing I didn't really consider when I was picking my picking my wild cards. So okay, let me put it out there: the Pittsburgh Steelers might have a winning record and not get to the playoffs because the Broncos might. I might change my mind there. I think.
Okay.
Let's just double check. KC, what's your schedule? Just to roughly just compare the schedule, not KC, because really I think KC are making it. Let's not.
Yeah.
Bum around.
Easy.
Let's look at Denver's schedule. They've got Tennessee, Indianapolis. Then they get the Chargers. Oh, come on. There's like 2 gimmies here. Cincinnati, okay, tough. Philadelphia, tough. New York, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. New York Giants. Dallas, okay, tough. Houston, they might win that one.
Yeah.
6. Vegas, okay, that's tough. It's a division, but it's at home, so let's say they win that one. 7. KC at home. Let's just say they lose to KC.
Yeah.
Washington, say that's tough. Vegas, let's say they lose at Vegas. They play Green Bay. That's 7 with Jacksonville, KC, Los Angeles. Yeah, okay. There's 7 give me's, I think, and then I'm taking 1, 3, 1. Yeah, okay. All right. What's Pittsburgh got? Because I expect Cincinnati to basically power through. Look, Pittsburgh's got New York. All right. Seattle. New York, they're gonna win. Let's say New England, they'll win. Minnesota, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Green Bay, Indianapolis, yep. Los Angeles, Cincinnati, Chicago, probably, yep. Buffalo, Baltimore, definitely not. Though they have a good record, I'm just gonna say, let's just say it's 50-50 with their in division. So we've already given a loss with Cleveland, Cincinnati. So let's just say they win one against Cincinnati, and they win 1 against Cleveland and 1 against the Ravens. This is very, very charitable.
Yeah.
Then otherwise they've got Miami 50-50. I think they can beat Miami, especially like in the cold. Yeah. And then we've got Detroit now. Yeah, so that's 8 wins. They'll probably get 9 just to get. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'll switch Broncos and Broncos instead of. There we go. Nice. I think that was a very That was a nice and like well thought out way of doing that.
Yeah.
So, speaking of schedules, we will head out to look at every game now. We're just going to look at the first week, obviously. We're not going to look at every single game.
Yeah.
Dallas against Philadelphia. Dallas at Philadelphia. Obviously, we're picking Philadelphia. Yeah?
Yeah.
Then then on the Saturday, which is our Sunday game, which is on YouTube. Hell yeah. Shit, actually, I'm just gonna look at the look at Google, so it shows us the time that's in New Zealand time. So 12 p.m. on YouTube, Saturday the 6th. Chargers versus Chiefs.
I think that's New Zealand time.
Yeah, that is New Zealand. Like on Google, it's on New Zealand time. So yeah. Awesome. Ooh. Then it'll be just before the draft. We can watch an hour of it while we draft, and we can watch drafting. There's a Colts Dolphins. I think we expect the Dolphins to win that one.
Yeah.
Even though that is in Indiana, I think the Dolphins just better, especially at the beginning of the year, warm weather football.
Yeah,
Jets versus Steelers. We're expecting the Steelers to win that one, I think.
Yeah.
Jaguars versus Panthers. Somehow both teams are gonna lose.
Yeah.
No, I think Jaguars are probably just about gonna win that, but that's gonna be the worst game of the opening round to watch, probably. Saints versus Cardinals. Like I said, I think the Saints are gonna potentially tank, so Cardi's there for me.
Yeah.
Commanders versus Giants. It is a divisional game. It's just the first game of the season, so the Giants might pull an upset.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Commanders, once
Commanders,
again,
yeah.
they've got momentum. They're coming off a great season.
Yeah, exactly.
Falcons versus Bucks. This is the game the Falcons are going to fight. This is going to be a great game. But yeah, Bucks
Yeah.
for me. Next up, we have Browns versus Bengals. Maybe the game of the round. Battle of Ohio.
Yeah.
Actually, no. This is the second best game of the round. 5 a.m. Monday morning. I'll be watching this on the ferry as I get ready to go in for jury duty.
Yeah.
They will. So I think this is gonna be at Cleveland. So I am gonna pick, because Joe Burrow has a rough record against the Browns. I think this is gonna be their first loss of the season.
All right.
Browns for me. Patriots versus Raiders. Just a good game. Sneaky good game.
Yeah.
Both teams are going to be competitive. I think because the Patriots are at home, they're going to sneak in with a win.
Yep. Yeah.
Seahawks versus 49ers at Seattle. Another great divisional game, but I think the 49ers are going to show... Kyle Shanahan's going to show why he's an awesome coach. He's going to win that.
Yep.
Next up, we have the Broncos versus the Titans. I think the Titans are starting with the rookie QB. They're going to go up to Denver, and I just picked Denver to make the playoffs. So yeah, there we go, Denver. Win for them. Packers versus Lions. Oof! What a game.
What a game.
Yeah, I think it's at Green Bay. Yeah, why not? Packers, go.
Yeah.
Go the green. Win at Lambeau. Rams versus Texans. Rams, I'm just going to assume Matthew Stafford isn't playing, so Texans. That's just my gut feel around that. So winning start for the Texans.
Yeah.
And the primetime game at 12:20 p.m. So hopefully I can watch that while at least the beginning of that, while they let us go for lunch.
Yeah.
Bills versus Ravens. This game is gonna be hot stuff. It's in Buffalo, but Buffalo has lost games to the Ravens at home before.
Yeah.
They're not afraid. Ravens are not afraid of the cold. They are not afraid of the wind.
No.
This is gonna be awesome. Both sides. I don't think they're going to go all out. It's the beginning of the season. They're going to try and feel each other out. I do think the Ravens have had a better offseason, and they tend to start stronger in the season, and the Bills tend to finish stronger in the season. So I picked the Ravens just. It's a close game.
Yeah.
And Bears versus Vikings. Oof, the game... Tuesday afternoon. Once again, I'll probably still be on jury duty selection because you're at least there for 2 days generally.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be good. I do think.
Ooh, yeah.
Caleb, let's believe in Caleb. Let's go Bears.
Let's
start
go
off
Bears.
with a win.
Yeah.
The Bears. So there we go. That's my predictions.
Nice.
So we're getting games on like Saturday New Zealand time as well. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the week after that, we've got a Friday 15th September.
That's a Monday, our time.
Monday. Okay, so they just have a Saturday. They just have an additional game on the opening week. Okay, that makes sense. I was just like, why are you like that? Would eat into college football's thing if you kept having games on Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. I like it. There's our NFL predictions. Let us know how wrong we are, how much you disagree, because I think everybody disagrees with our NFL takes, which, just because we're wrong all the time doesn't mean we'll be wrong now.
Exactly. And really, it's sort of our thing to be wrong on predictions, right?
Yeah. Like I think Chargers fans are upset because I said they'll make the playoffs this year. Like, oh, we're not gonna make the playoffs this year now.
Yeah, exactly. They said we're gonna make it. Damn it! Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think that's all we have
maybe
time
just
for today.
Before we go, just a plug for Saturday. We've got our live NFL draft for our fantasy league. So
Absolutely, yes.
They'll be live in the Discord in the stage. So
yep. Come along. Generally, this is the way we usually set up the draft. We can tend to have a really active chat for our NFL draft. So
yeah.
Look forward to that. Hope it should be loads and loads of fun. So we'll see you all then, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the meantime, good night and good luck. And hopefully your team does as well as you want them to, or does bad enough that you would get to enjoy complaining about them.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks a lot, and catch you next time. Well, that is the end. Thanks for listening all the way through.
If you liked what you heard, we have even more. NineSixFourTwo Discord and a Buy Me a Coffee.
Pretty sure it's Buy Me a Beer.
Oh yeah, buy me a beer on buymeacoffee.com.
In both these places, you can talk to us, and we may even listen, especially if you do buy a said beer or coffee. I might still be confused.
Yes, we're easily bribed. All links are in the show notes below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is on YouTube.